EUPHUES Introduction. EUPHUES is prose romance written by John Lyly, 1554 to 1606. The work came out in two parts: EUPHUES or the Anatomy of Wit, 1578, and EUPHUES and His England, 1580. These books took the upper classes of England by storm. The chief importance of EUPHUES in the history of English literature is that it paved the way for the English novel. Some have indeed called it the first English prose novel. Prose novel means written or spoken language that is not a poetry. But it should be noted that it is an agglomeration. Agglomeration is a mass or a collection of things, of many elements foreign to the nature of the novel. The work is important too, for it set the woes of apoeistic style, which came to be followed by a large number of Lyly's contemporaries and immediate successors. The story. The plot of EUPHUES or the Anatomy of Wit is the simplest and imaginable. EUPHUES is a man of learning and culture belonging to Athens, which evidently stands for Oxford. He goes to Naples, which stands for London, to lead a life of pleasure. There he becomes intimate friends with a young man named Philos, who introduced him to his fiancée Lucilla. He attracts Lucilla's love, and the two friends exchange taunting letters. But Lucilla plays him false and elopes with a stranger. EUPHUES, heartbroken, returns to Athens, and he and Philos become friends again. The plot is simple but very long essays on such topics as love and the education of children, with many rhetorical letters and lengthy dialogues are grafted onto the thin stream of the story. In EUPHUES and His England is narrated the arrival of Philos and EUPHUES in England and Philos' unsuccessful courtship of Camilla, a maid of honor to Queen Elizabeth. This volume pays glowing tributes to the English nobility, particularly the courtiers. Lyly was, to quote Tucker Brooks, most careful to depict them not as they were, but as they would have liked to have themselves regarded. To quote the same critic, in the last 15 pages, a portrait of Queen Elizabeth, probably the most elaborately flattering that much flattered sovereign ever received criticism. What is remarkable about Lyly's work is not its matter, but its terribly manneristic prose style, which has come to be dubbed Epiusium. It came to be parodied and derided by a long chain of writers from Shakespeare to Scott, even though it also excited imitation from a very large number of writers now justly forgotten. The cool Drayton declared that Lyly thought his countrymen to speak and write all like mere lunatic. Nevertheless, if Lyly was a lunatic, there was method in his madness. He did employ a well-thought-out plan which has the following characteristics. Lunatic means a person who believes in a stupid way, doing crazy and often dangerous things. Characteristics. The first is the principle of symmetry and apotheosis, obtained generally by the employment of alliteration, balance, and antithesis. See for intense such expressions as hot liver of a heatless lover, or the description of EUPHUES as a proud gallant, or more wit than wealth, chat of more wealth than wisdom. Secondly, there are very numerous references to the classical authorities, even for very well-known facts. Thirdly, there is a mass of allusions to natural history, generally of a fabulous kind. All these devices are used for the purpose of decoration, but our complaint is that the style is often decorated to the point of being monotonous and insipid. Monotonous means never changing and therefore boring, and insipid, even though it affects poetic beauties. To quote Captain Racket, Lily's style suffers from the serious fact of ignoring the distinctions between prose and verse. It is the prose of an age that found its most effective method in verse